You used to call me on my cell phone. Late night when you need my
Doot doot
love.
doot
Call
doot
me on my cell phone. You know
doot
who that
doot
is?
doot 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 doot. Yeah, that's Drake.
Or as Duolingo would have you say, Drake.
No,
Drake.
listen, you're not gonna make fun
No,
of my Duolingo. And
I'm
speaking
not.
of Duolingo and Korean and all that, BTS has a phone related song you could use if you were a good friend, a real friend who was open to
Oh,
new
Lord.
things. You
Of
might
course, I ain't open to
have
new things.
looked and listened to that and then sung that to me in Korean. And then I would have been like, look, because they've got one.
I like how that whole thing played out. I would have been like, look, look. Listen, I can't help the Duolingo got you jacked up.
They don't have me
Lord
jacked up.
have
Listen, and thank you for bringing that up because I do feel a little remorse, felt pretty bad after we finished our last phone conversation because
Why?
I feel like I let some people down. I feel like I let my fellow BTS army down. I feel like I let Koreans down. I feel like I let other Duolingo users down because I
I don't
should
feel
have
like you
been
let
able
them
to come up
down.
with more. I should have been able to come up
But
with more.
okay. Agreed.
It's been
Agreed.
over a year. And I could have even at least I could have broke out a BTS song and just said the lyrics.
Right.
And
Okay. All right.
and that could have done it as opposed to just going with the
Well, no,
Philadelphia,
because listen,
Boston,
and you
Hyundai.
no
Those
Hyundai.
they taught me Hyundai, Hyundai, Boston,
The
Philadelphia,
uh
Palak, Pone.
no
They
no.
did. They taught me all these words. Stregi, charoncha. That's my favorite. I love that word. Charoncha.
What's
Sorry.
that?
It's I think that's a car. Charoncha. What other word do I like?
Toyota.
No.
Toyota. Toyota.
Toyota. I don't know how. Toyota's Japanese, Dawn.
Oh,
Racist.
okay.
That is so racist.
Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious.
It would be Hyundai or Kia.
I can't with you. I can't with you. Oh my god.
Charoncha.
I don't feel like you let people you were put on the spot, so I will
I
give you that.
was, and it's not my first language, so
Well, after 813 days, it should come in a close second.
Listen,
But
I
you were
told
put on the
you,
spot.
I told you. There's this thing, I think it's called permafrost, I don't, permafrost, and I think what
No.
happens is I think that all of these Korean words, you say the word for Korea, it's called Hangul. Anyway, I feel like
Oh
all
my
of these
god.
words are just kind of stuck in the top of my brain, just sitting there, just sitting on my dome. And there's a layer of permafrost. And eventually that layer of permafrost is going to thaw. And all of those words are going to settle in and trickle down. And then one day it's all going to make sense. And I'm going to be, ha ha. It's going to have, I'm going to have an aha moment and it's all going to make sense.
Wait,
And then
no,
I'll
listen.
be able, and I'll be able to have a conversation, at least like a toddler. I'll at least be like at 2-year-old level. It's going to happen.
My goodness.
Saranghe. Borahe.
What you say? Listen,
Saranghe means I love you.
We believe you, Beth. We believe you. I will give you a hard time. I know you. I hope,
and I
but
had an opportunity to use my Korean at work this week.
Oh, Now, would you tell them you're going to go to Philadelphia?
Philadelphia.
I'm flying you out to Philadelphia.
Boston.
What's that, Boston?
Apartamento. Huh?
Now you just went to Italian.
I know. I can't help. It's like all of my languages are starting to like. You should see. I got my fingers clenched together like grazie. You know, I'm doing like the whole Italian. It's all like blending together.
Okay, so
I mean,
all right. So how did you use it at work? Like, did you actually use
so
some
listen,
stuff? Okay.
Our advertising guy, like our marketing guy, he came up to so I work with several it's a lab. It's a lab. So we've got several scientists in there, and
Ooh.
one of those gentlemen, we've got several Indian gentlemen, and one of the lead chemist, scientist, whatever, he speaks several different languages, Japanese being one of them. And so the advertising guy or marketing guy went up to him and said, "Do you speak Korean?" And I'm like, my ears perked up. And he was like,
cucumber milk, fox
do
and
you
trash.
do you speak do you speak Korean? He's like, no. He's like, do you know anybody who speaks Korean? I was like,
oh Lord.
So I didn't say I spoke it. I said, hey, what do you need help with? Now you have to realize we're in one big, it's like a big lab. We got this big, it's like a warehouse space. And but we've made it so it's all like all the walls are white, the floor is white. We have like a clean room, a dry room. So it's very lab oriented with some office, like with just like cubicles and stuff for the office people like myself. And so I'm like hearing him, and I'm like, what, hey, what are you like? What are you talking about? Why do you need help with Korean? And he's like, because I've got a meeting with some people from Hyundai coming up. And I was like, Hyundai. And sorry. Anyway,
Hyundai.
I was like,
lesson one.
I was like, I know that word. Charoncha. I said, no, I said, I've been studying a little bit of Korean. I said, what did you need help with? He's like, I'm trying to see all the names of the people who are like on this invite list so I can kind of figure out who's who. I'm like, I might be able to help you with that.
Oh my gosh. Because I'm on day 418 on Duolingo.
So I went over there, and he was trying to figure out what this person's name was. And the guy's and so it was all in Korean characters. And his last name was Kim, but the line of characters was like 10 feet long. And he's like, is this whole thing his name? And I'm like, no, just like the first section of that first section. He's like, I think his last name is Kim. He goes, does that say Kim? I'm like, well, that doesn't say Kim. I'm like, but this says Kim because I know how to read Kim. See, I can read it. I can read it better than I can see it. So I knew the letter, the character for the K, for the I, and for the M. And the way that you read Korean is you read it from left to right. It's like in groups of 3. So you read left, right, and then it drops down to the second line. So it's like K-I. So K would be on the left side, I would be on the right side, and then the M would be underneath the K.
Oh, okay.
See?
Okay.
See?
I'm impressed.
I was able to say that, well, that's not Kim. This is Kim. And what was after his name was it showed that he was the director of, like, it said what his job title was. So he was looking at that whole line and thinking like, that's this dude's name. And I was like, well, no, that's not his name. This is, and we were able to kind of break it down and blah, blah, blah. So I didn't really like, you know what I mean? But just a little bit, just a teeny bit. Bit. So maybe in 2 more years, I might actually be able to like get somewhere.
Okay. Listen, listen. I'm gonna be honest with you. That brought you back a little bit. That brought you back up top, like, because listen, cucumber milk and fox and trash had us worried. I'm gonna be honest with you. We was worried. We was thinking about some things on you.
Oyo. I think that's milk. Agie. That's baby.
Stop. Okay. Beth, you redeemed yourself for a little.
I know it's kind of a fun word to say. Charoncha. I love that word.
It sounds like chicharron. Like I don't know. That's what
That's
my
one of my
mind
favorite
goes.
words to say, but we haven't said it in a while. But anyway.
What, chicharron?
No, charoncha.
Oh, choroncha. Okay.
No.
Tarantula.
No, charoncha. It's not an R. It's like a D. Charoncha. Like
Charoncha.
CHADONCHA, charoncha. But I don't know if that's how you would really spell it. I told you they don't get phonetic on that, and that's what I don't like. But
listen, while you and your scientists are so smart, couldn't y'all have just put the camera on your iPhone to where it translates the words into the...
Listen, the funny thing that happened is that this dude tried to, like, before, because I was taking too long, I guess, to like try to read it to him. He tried to like pull up Chat GPT to see if it could like tell him. And I guess Google has their own version of Chat GPT. It's called, shoot, I can't know that, like, so you have Google Images and Google Maps and Google whatever.
Yeah.
Google has its Chat GPT, type that in, it pulls up just like Google. I'll have to see what it's called. I can't remember. But anyway, so I know we've we've completely. I just want to let you know, I felt so bad about, I let people down.
Well,
but, like,
I mean,
you said, I redeemed myself and I feel better.
You did. And like I said, I did put you on the spot. It was just the fact that you shared the information that she was on day 565 and you hit us with Hong Chong Sing 1, 2, 3, and it was
Poston.
But you came back, buddy.
Poston, Philadelphia.
For being able to do that.
Oh, that's good. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
Anyway, so speaking of streaks, since you want to mention my 565 days, how are you doing with your water, or your dry January, on your water kick? Are you still doing it?
I'm still going strong. I'm still taking in the water. I feel like I can like get in more than I am, but it's going good. So like I'm looking at a full bottle right now, and this is bottle number like 4. Yeah, bottle 4.
8 glasses. That's good. That's good.
I think so. So it's
that's real good.
I don't know. I don't know.
You're inspiring me, because I need to do better, because I used to be much more cognizant about my water intake. I've kind of fallen off of my little health, and I don't want to say it was a health kick. It was just me trying to eat better in general, just not eat on it, and still trying to do better as far as more vegetables, more proteins, more things like that, but not going crazy with it, like meal prep and stuff like that. Like, not doing it that kind of way.
That's commitment right there. Meal prepping.
Yeah, I can't do all that. But just being cognizant in my mouth. And I was really good with my water. I even got one of them little stupid jugs that have 8 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 12 o'clock, 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
So you fill it up, and that's where you should be every couple of hours. But I've run into an issue in my daily life, especially at work, because it leads to having to go to the urinal a little bit more than the normal. And I work in a place, and I said urinal, and I don't know if a urinal is only for a man or if a urinal can apply to a woman as well. I was just about to say,
when you said I go to a urinal, I'm like,
I just mean buddy. Like a place where you urinate, which is really the bathroom. So I don't know why I said all that. Anyway.
How'd you turn it into? Oh yes, I need to go to the urinal.
I don't know if that only applies to men, but
I think so.
Okay, sorry. So,
oh Lord.
But speaking of, I work in this lab, and it really is a big, huge space, a big, huge building that we've converted into a lab, and there was no restroom when we got it. So literally what they did was they put some drywall around one of the walls, one of the, like, what do you call it, the border walls or the frame
Yeah.
walls or whatever. They literally put drywall around, 3 pieces of drywall around, like, the base wall or the frame wall, whatever you want to call it, and did some plumbing stuff or whatever, and put a toilet and a sink in there, and that's the bathroom. And like, I work for a startup, so they're trying to conserve money and save money as much as they can, and like, we didn't go all out yet until, things take off, if they take off.
Right.
And I work with, so it's one bathroom for like everybody,
Oh
and
no.
it's, yes. And there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 women, and all the rest are men, and there's about 15 guys. So right there, I don't
And
want to
just one
go to the
bathroom
back.
for all y'all?
Yes.
Oh no. Listen, the
Yes. And
scientists should have
it's
a
right
problem
on
with
the, and
that.
it's like kind of out in the open, like not in the middle of the lab, but I mean, it's literally right there. Like, there ain't no walking down a hallway to get to the bathroom. It's literally like, when you get up and you walk to the left, you're either walking to the eye wash station, or to the left of that
To the
is a
urinal.
door that opens up to the bathroom. So there's like everybody knows when you're getting up and going to the bathroom.
Oh no. And
And
none of the
then, you know what
scientists
else?
none
Huh?
of the scientists have a problem with that. Like, I would feel like,
They're men, first of all. And I mean,
oh,
do we have any
and
scientists that
guys
listen
are
to this podcast?
gross.
Do we have any scientists listen to this podcast? Listen, they're very smart people in one area.
Uh-huh.
But to me, sometimes in other areas, not that they're not smart, but they, sometimes they're a little bit eccentric
Aloof.
in other areas, or aloof,
Uh-huh.
maybe. There we go. And so I have not found too many scientists who are very, like, pristine. It makes me think
Uh-uh.
of kind of like the mad scientists, and, like, like, think about, like, Albert Einstein. I imagine that his lab was kind of like messy. His hair was all over the place. He had like stuff.
Yeah.
It was a very
Chaotic.
cluttered and chaotic, but it was organized. You know what I mean? In his mind.
Uh-huh.
So I'm not saying that they're not clean people. I'm just saying that they're very oblivious to certain things, and
Uh-uh.
they're men on top of that.
It's doodle, baby. It's doodle, baby. No, Beth.
No,
I can't.
listen,
Beth.
listen,
Doodle, baby.
listen. I don't know if they do that in there.
Beth,
But
where else they gonna go, Beth? Beth,
maybe
where
they
else
don't have
they
to
gonna
go
go?
throughout the day. Maybe they don't have to go throughout the day. And
Oh my
I try to
gosh.
time my bathroom usage when we have the cleaners come in, and the cleaners, they come in it's not at any same time every day. So sometimes they come first thing in the morning, sometimes they
Okay.
come midday or whatever. I go to the bathroom as soon as they leave,
I heard
because
that.
they
Because that's
have
the only clean time.
they've
Otherwise, it's
mopped it.
doodle,
They
baby.
clean it. It smells. It smells decent in there. They have mopped the floor. They have cleaned everything. You know what I mean? And so I'm
Yeah.
like, as soon as they are there, I go to the bathroom. But it makes it very difficult for me, because when you drink a lot of water, you have to pee a lot. And for the first like month or two we were there,
Uh-huh.
I would leave and I would go across the street to Walmart to go to the bathroom. Not that Walmart is a ton cleaner.
Listen, because I
but
was
at
just
least
about
they
to
have
say.
stalls, and it's just a woman's stall, and I can, close the door and not have everybody know that I just went.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, and they don't close the door when they leave the bathroom. I don't care what you did in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Close the door, because I don't want any remnants of anything coming out. And they just leave the door wide open. I'm like, what is with y'all?
Listen,
close the damn door.
I worked at a spot one time, and
Oh.
it was like a cold calling kind of position, and just one restroom, but it wasn't a lot of us. I think maybe like 5, and the building itself was small, which was actually worse because this one lady would always use the restroom, and she would always blow it up. And anytime she came out, she would never shut the door behind her. So it's doodle, baby. when she,
oh Lord,
yes,
that's nasty.
Nasty. When
why do people like?
I don't know. And it made me
So
instantly angry. Like, that's how funky it was. You ever smell something so bad? You ever smell
Wait a second. Was it in the same, like, were you like all in the same room? Like, why did you smell it?
Yes. So when you came out the restroom, you walked, and the way they had to split up, because it was a small building. So if you walk straight ahead, you would walk into a room and there were 2 callers in there, because they were calling different areas within Indiana. Right. So if you walk straight ahead out of the restroom, you walked into one room, or you walked into the main room where there were 3 callers, and then there was another room that had 2 additional. So she, like, I mean, you just walked out into where all of us worked, basically. And
that's kind of like where I'm at. Okay.
Every time she would blow it up, and she would come out and just leave the door open. And I'm like I said, you ever smell something so bad, it just instantly got you angry. Like, just rage. You felt rage.
My thing is, if you are so inconsiderate, like, I feel like if you are oblivious, I don't know if it's an inconsiderate thing, if it's just an oblivious thing, if it's the combination of the two, it makes me think that you might not wash your hands either.
Okay. And then I
just feel like it all goes hand in hand. All goes dirty hand in dirty hand.
You can't be that oblivious when you just dropped the Browns off at the Super Bowl. You know what you just did.
Oh, man.
And you know
that is so disgusting.
You're not dropping flowers and incense in there. So,
right, if it doesn't occur to you that you need to be more courteous and
thank you
and flush as you go, right, or close the door or whatever, I feel like you don't care about nothing
at all. You
don't care about nobody.
You woke up and chose
you don't
violence.
care if you wash your hands or not.
Exactly. You woke up and made them choices. So it's like,
that's so disgusting.
So when you say that, it made me think of that, and I'm just like, that lady used to get on my nerve, man. And it was like, did
anybody say anything to her?
I did.
To close the door?
Yes, I said, would you close that door?
And nobody what did she do? What did she say?
Like, she goes, oh, okay, sorry. What you mean?
But did she do it again?
Huh?
Did she do it again?
She always would do it.
Girl, I see. that would test my patience, and I'm working on it.
It's doo-doo, baby.
Test my patience, and I'm working on it. That kind of stuff makes me. We have that grind your gears section. Oh. That would be a grind your gears. That's something that would grind my gears, for lack of a better term.
Listen, and melt it
makes
because
no
the way
sense.
It smelled was ridiculous. It smelled like her insides were angry at her. It smelled like confusion and hazardous materials. Like it was. It's doo-doo, baby.
Listen.
Oh my God.
I just feel like, and that might be the case. Some people have issues, whatever, but just take care of it. And that's the part that I think would aggravate me the most when people are so like oblivious to what they're doing that they don't think about anything else, and that's what makes you so mad, because it's like it's dumb. Right. It makes me think that you're like just dumb, and I don't have a lot of tolerance for that. But I'm working on it.
Listen,
being more patient.
Oh, but you work with some how you work with scientists that don't.
I don't know if they don't wash their hands. I want to say they do, because there's one waste basket that's always overflowing, but because people can't seem to get their stupid paper towels in. Get it inside the trash can, because I don't want to pick up your paper towel off the floor either.
When you just said that, you had your fist clenched, didn't you?
I did.
Yes, I can tell.
How can I work on patience when there's people like this walking around the earth? Like, how am I supposed? Maybe that's how I'm supposed to work on it.
Oh. What?
That's how I work on it, because
practice makes perfect. If everybody keep dealing with
if everybody was conscious, if everybody, is that the right word, conscious? If everybody was, I don't know the word I'm looking for, or whatever. If everybody was doing what they're supposed to do, then I couldn't work on patience. But then I wouldn't have to work on it, because I'd be patient.
Exactly.
Because there'd be nobody getting on my nerves.
Exactly.
Speaking of, okay, this is 2024. I'm not going down this road. This is a positive year, a positive road. And I said I was working on patience, but I feel like I'm gonna do a grind your gears. I'm gonna call an
Oh,
audible. I'm gonna
okay.
call an audible. I've touched on it before. I've touched on it every episode of the podcast, but I don't think I've fully let it out.
Okay.
And maybe if I just share it fully, I can move on, because
Okay.
working on patience. I said I was working on patience in the car,
We are
and
here
now
for you.
you've got this all brought up.
Ain't that right, friends? We here for it, right? Go ahead, Beth.
I've got to either get this out, or I'm running for mayor. I think I'm running for mayor
What
or
you?
town council,
Shut up.
something.
Shut up.
And I'm going to tell you why.
Okay. Here goes, folks.
City of Townsville. I'm about to do something, because it's the whole driving in the car still. And I'm going to say this because, again, today, now I'm trying to leave earlier. I told you I was working on leaving earlier, and
Right.
I have been.
Okay.
And my whole goal was that if I leave earlier, then maybe I will be less irritated in the car because I'm running late. You know what I mean?
Right.
It does not matter. I realized
Oh,
it doesn't
Lord.
matter. It doesn't matter how early I leave, because whether I'm running late or not, people who don't know how to drive, I'm trying to like watch my words.
I see.
I don't want to call people.
I can tell. Take your time, baby. Take your
Because
time.
I don't want to just say, because the idiots, I don't want to say, like, I don't want to be harsh. Because it doesn't matter what time I leave, there's still going to be idiots driving.
Oh, Lord.
But see, okay, that's why I'm taking it back.
Okay.
That's why I'm bringing it way back.
Listen, how you going to let it go and then bring it back? Okay, but go ahead, though. Go ahead, though. How you going to put it out there? It doesn't
matter how early I leave. There will still be people driving on the road who don't know how to navigate their way. And because they make foolish decisions while they're driving that can affect me, I still get a little bit irritated.
Okay.
So this is the full thing. So I'm gonna say it all.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna put it to bed.
Hold on, wait. Y'all ready? Here she go. Let it loose.
What I think it is a combination of things. And maybe our friends, new friends, can kind of help me learn how to deal with it. Maybe I should I don't know. I live in Florida. So that right there presents a problem, because this is a state where you have a lot of people who are retired that live here. So that right there off the bat adds to it, because
they leisurely drive.
That's one issue.
Okay. I'm trying to ease you into
necessarily. This. Yes, thank you. So it's a combination. They're a little bit older, and I think that can I safely say sometimes that as you get older, myself included, I mean, I'm not there yet, but as you get older, maybe your sight is not as good, your depth perception isn't as well, your judgment as far as how close things are isn't the same. Okay. You are leisurely because you don't necessarily have a schedule you have to follow.
Right.
Okay. B. And I don't even know what letter I'm on. Number. Okay, that's one thing. So I live in a state where there's a lot of an older population.
Okay.
A. B. I live in a state that we have this thing called these people called snowbirds. Who move down here or come down here during the summer or winter months to escape the coldness of maybe where they live. Okay. So then that adds more people on the roads, especially during this time of year that would normally not be here. Okay. Third factor, because I live in South Florida on the East Coast, it's not far from several islands
Okay.
So we've got the island of your lover, Cuba.
Okay. Cuba. Mm-hmm.
We've got Cuba. We've got the island of Haiti. We've got the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
We've got the Bahamas. We've got Jamaica, all not too far. So if people are living in those islands and they want to move to the States, this would, be a close place for them to come
Where
to
it's not
get
too
settled.
far from the
Yes,
home
to get
country.
settled.
Got you.
Correct. And there is such a thing, I believe, as island time. So sometimes these
Islanders.
yes.
I'm trying to help you out as best I can, buddy.
Thank you. They're a little bit more laid back.
Okay.
Kind of like everything Irie. No rush to do anything, just kind of, leisure as well.
Listen, much like my husband, which I've mentioned before.
Yes.
So I get that.
So I feel like all of those factors combined, not to mention adding on whoever is in the engineering department for the traffic lights in this town rolls into one big, it's a big like traveling cyclone. And all of it combined is what's going to make me
go postal,
not be patient in the car.
So all this adds up. It takes place when you're trying to get to your destination.
It takes place all day long, Dawn. It takes place all day long, Dawn.
The anchor in your voice right now. So listen. So
first of all, as mayor,
that's what I was just about to ask.
The first edict that I'm putting out is, if you are retired, you cannot be on the road from 7 to 9 or 4 to 6.
7 to 9, 4 to 6.
You can wait to go to brunch, breakfast, lunch, dinner after the people who are going to work get there. Because you have a leisurely schedule. You don't have to be there at a certain time. So just chill, hold back, free up the space on the roads. If you do not have a job, are not going to school, and are going to play pickleball, going to brunch, whatever, until o'clock, and you have to be there. It's like curfew. You cannot be out between 7 to 9 and 4 to 6. You just can't.
Oh my goodness.
Number 1. Number 2. It is against the law.
If Beth was mayor.
If I'm mayor. To have more than 10 car lengths in between you and the car ahead of you. Dawn, I am driving behind. It's 3 lanes. Every person in every lane, they're probably each like maybe 2. One in the left lane is maybe 2 inches ahead of the person in the middle lane, who is 2 inches ahead of the person in the right lane. So anybody behind them can't get around nowhere. And the cars that are in front of them are 1,500. And they are just, and this is what it has forced me to be like. This is what I've become. This is what I do. I'm not proud of it. I'm working on it. I am. When I get around these people, why do I look at everybody dead face in the car when I pass them? Like, I can't even pass them. I get so aggravated when I finally get able to get around and go in front of somebody.
You do not stare them down.
Every person. I have to see what they look like.
Beth.
I'm not staring them down, but I gotta see what they look like.
Beth, you stare at them to make sure that they see your eye, look at their eye.
I don't care if they see me. I've got to see them. And then I'm like, what are you doing?
Do you yell that at them? Do you mouth that?
I mean, the windows are up.
Yeah, so you mouth it.
But they probably know that I'm aggravated.
Beth,
but they should. I'm working,
Bethala.
I'm
really
working on it, Dawn. But listen, I don't think I initially started out like this. This is after now being here for a couple of years, and I just don't understand.
Yeah,
The
how long have
speed
you?
limit.
Let
The
me see. How
speed
long have you
limit
been
is
in Florida?
45. Why are you going 27? I don't understand.
How
I
long have you
don't
been in
understand.
Florida?
Why do you have so much space in between you and the car head? Why are you stopping before the light has turned red? Why are we on the turnpike? Why am I on the highway? And it's a sea of brake lights. And when I get up, I'm thinking, oh, there must be an accident. And there's nothing there. It's just that people are going 45 on the freeway.
Listen, you're
or
so angry,
145.
Beth.
But I understand the 145 people because they're so aggravated from being
Beth.
behind a person who's going 40. Yes.
Beth.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
I told you I have to get it all out one time. I'm not going to listen back to this podcast. I'm not going to listen back to this podcast.
Lord,
I'm
I've been
embarrassed
asking
already.
5 times.
I'm embarrassed.
How long have you been in Florida?
3 years.
I will hear Beth. How long you been for? And another thing.
I'm sorry. This is the last section. Okay, so then I've got people who are driving slow. I got the islanders who, and I don't know. I've been to Haiti. I've been to the Dominican. I've been to the Bahamas. I've been to Jamaica. I can't remember which one of these islands, if any of them, because I've been to some other islands as well, where they don't have lines on the road and they drive on the sidewalks. So I don't know if,
a good majority. You remember where were we? Where were we?
I don't know where they had machine guns.
Well, that was Jamaica. Okay. We were in Jamaica.
So we know in Jamaica they drive all which kinds of ways. There's no traffic signals. They don't matter. They disregard them. They're here. Those people are here.
And then where were we? The one cruise we went on, was it Belize or something? And we were remember the van that didn't have no doors?
Yes.
And he was on the edge of the cliff, and I could have sworn that day was the last day of my life. Because I said it multiple times, we're going to die. And
those people are here, Dawn. They're here. They're here and they're driving amongst us.
Amongst us. What's that game? Among us.
They're driving among us, and along with the retirees, along with whoever else I mentioned earlier in my rant. Now I'm going to cap it off with a bow, and then I'm going to let this go.
All right, you promise?
Yeah.
That did not sound secure.
Who are the engineers? Okay. The lights, Dawn. The lights. It makes absolutely no sense. I'm going to try to wrap this up real quickly because I know I've been talking about it way too long and people are probably tired of it. You have traffic that goes north, south, east, and west, Dawn. North, south, east, and west.
Okay.
Right? Traffic that's going north and south, they should be going at the same time, right? Because they're going against each other and they're not affecting each other, right? They're parallel.
Right.
East and west should be going at the same time as well, right? So when the light is red for the east and west traffic and green for the north and south
right,
I should be sitting at a light for maybe, I don't know, a few minutes, letting that traffic go. Listen to the way they have engineered it. You know how I know this? Because I studied it. I sat at an intersection and I studied it.
Oh my gosh.
North and south traffic, light turns green, they should go. But there's always going to be turners, like people who are turning, east or turning west from north or south. Mm-hmm. So in my mind, the best way to handle this is when the light turns green for the north and south traffic, let the turners go first for 30 or 45 seconds, because typically there's less turners in the straight traffic. You know what I mean?
Right.
So let the turners go first at the same time, because they're not going to run into each other because they're one's turning east, one's turning west. Let them go. Once they let that length of that light go, then it's time for the north and south traffic to go straight. And then what you could possibly do at that time, if the intersection is not too bad, make the turning light at that time yellow or yield. So since it was already green, now if there are any more people who want to turn, they have to yield to the oncoming traffic. Right. Because it's now north and south turn. That whole time, the traffic that is going east and west is at a red light and they're waiting their turn. And then the exact same thing should happen when the light turns red for north and south traffic. The turning lights for east and west go first. They get their little bit of time and then they go straight and that's it, right? So it's easy. To me, that makes it like it should go that way, right? Does that make sense?
Makes it. Well, that's how the lights are here in Indiana. So hey, high five to us Indianers who like have the lights working right, because that's how the traffic is here. But go ahead.
Okay. So here what they do is north and south traffic is at a red light. Light turns green. There is a turner who is facing south who wants to turn left. So that means they're going east. And there's nobody turning facing north to go west. So instead of still having both turn lights go first, they're going to let the straight lights go facing south and the turning people go. And meanwhile, the people, the north and the people turning east are just sitting at a red light. There's nobody turning east though, but they're just letting that other people they just sit there. So they're sitting. So straight's going and turning's going. And then they stop straight and turning to let straight the other side north go straight. Then they stop that to let, now there's a turner who is driving west. Okay, now we're gonna let him go. But there was only one or two cars. So now once he goes, now we're gonna let north and south straight go again. And then they're gonna stop. And then east and west can go, but they're going to do the exact same when we did it. So we're going to let the turners and the straight go first for one side, stop them, let the turners and straight go first or go second for the opposite side, stop them, and then let the straights go again because we didn't really give them enough time to go straight because we had some turnings in with it. So the point is, I am sitting at the light for like 4 iterations of stop and go. Beth. You see what I'm saying? I'm sitting at a light.
No. I hope that you have let that all off your chest, because let me tell you something. That was about as confusing as you trying to describe word Sudoku. I was good with you when it was north and south and parallel east and west, but then, girl, you got into some stuff. I can't. Beth,
the point is, I'm sitting at the light.
You could have led with that, Beth. I feel like you lost a lot of us.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
I can hear the frustration though, and I had to let you finish because I could hear the passion.
I'm sitting at the light, Dawn. I'm sitting at the light. The turners are going across from me. Then the straight is going across from me, and then I'm taking it back, all back. I'm taking it all back. Whoa. Okay, wait a second. I'm taking it all back.
How did you reverse?
I can wrap this up in 45 seconds. I'm taking it all back. Okay. I'm sitting at the light, east and west, at the red light, just waiting. It's north and south's turn to go. So they let one side go. They let the south-facing traffic go first, turning and straight. They stop them. Let the north traffic go, turning and straight, stop them, and then let south and north go again straight because they only got to go straight for a little bit before because they let the turners go with them. So they couldn't all go at the same time. Let me
ask you something real quick. Now, did you think repeating that again was going to make it any clearer than the first time that you tried to explain it?
The point is, if I'm sitting east and west, I am now sitting through the red light for the turns to go, the straights to go, the turns to go, the straights to go, and then the straights to go again. I've sat through the light for the other opposite people going like 4 or 5 times before we finally get to go. And what happens is because I'm sitting at the light, my point is I'm at the light for a long time.
At the light
for so long, now traffic is backed up. So then half the traffic doesn't get to go through when the light does finally turn green. That's always because you're at the light for so long, red. I've timed it one time. I think I was at light one time for almost 4 minutes. I'm not lying. letting all the other traffic go. By the time it got back to us, traffic is so backed up. Like 10 cars get to go. And it's not like that whole 4 minutes, the traffic is going like repeatedly, like all the cars get to go. They're stopping it, letting the other side go, stopping it, letting the other side go back again. Okay.
Beth, your 45 seconds, unfortunately, have ran out 35 seconds ago.
So would I win the mayoral race if I led on that platform? If I led with that, would I win?
I think they would have to no other choice but to give it to you by default, buddy. Because all you would need to do was end with "It's doodle, baby," and then you would win.
Pretty much it is.
Yeah, that's it. But I'm tired of waiting at the lights. It's doodle, baby, and then that's it. You've won.
And then when you finally get to go, you're behind Gertrude, who has let 10 cars in front.
No, she didn't.
Take that out.
No,
take that out.
No, you didn't say Gertrude.
Gertrude is the name of my old van.
Gertrude was the name of my old van.
Gertrude was the name of my old van. It's okay. You're behind somebody who is letting 10 spaces go in front of them. Then you're behind this person who is just lollygagging around. I mean, it's a combination of so many issues.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Beth.
I'm done.
So for 2026, put in those votes for electoral candidate Beth to be mayor of Florida.
And then I'm gonna revamp the whole like roadway system, and then I will step down and renounce my throne and I don't want to be involved in that. I just want to get the street situation fixed, and that's it.
Oh my God. I think you need to write a letter. You need to I think you need to submit a letter. But not with all the directional stuff in it, because you would lose them halfway down.
I'm envisioning myself on Judge Judy, and if you're on Judge Judy and you get into an accent, she has that board up.
Yeah.
And then you put, I see, like when I do it that way, it all makes sense.
Oh, okay. That's all we were missing, folks, was the board.
You just you got to see it. It's the visual.
Oh my gosh.
I feel like I went off kilter there. But I think it's because I've had that building up in me for so long, because I've talked about it every week on the podcast, that the traffic.
No, I can tell, buddy.
I think I've got it all out and I've let everybody know.
Okay.
I think I can. I think
you feel better.
Yeah.
Can't
you tell it by the tone of my voice how much more relaxed I am?
Yeah, you sound calmer.
I was just pent up. 3 years pent up of frustration.
You even threw Gertrude in there. Woosah.
Now, the whole origin behind that was that if anybody knows of ways that I can deal with that, let me know.
I'm done with you. Well, hey, they can now, because you know what? We could put it up on our.
Don't put that. Please don't put that. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear that.
We could put that up on our new Instagram
don't put that
page.
Clip, please don't. I don't want to hear myself.
Oh, you're gonna have to hear it.
Please don't, Dawn.
Another one. Yeah, we go, but we would like the feedback. What are some?
No,
Beth. Listen,
I don't want
now.
Feedback.
Well, not.
I mean, I want feedback, but just don't attack me.
Not the directional information that was provided. However, what are some ways? Like, do you deal with stress? Do you count to 10? What do you do when you're like stuck in traffic or agitated by?
Or like, why do I get agitated by it? Why can't I just like not be agitated?
Go with the flow.
Yeah, like why does that agitate me so much?
I don't know.
Do you get agitated in traffic?
Most definitely I do. I don't think I've had it to that extent, but now one thing that I notice here, so it's flipped here as far as even when you're talking about just speed, right? So here speed limit is 45. I'll go over a little bit, and I feel like if I'm already going over, why are you riding my tail? I can understand if the speed limit is 35 yeah, if it's 35 and I'm going 25 and you're up on my tail. But if the speed limit is 35 and I'm pushing 40, possibly 45, and you're still on my tail, now that's when I get an issue. That's when I'm tempted. If you're riding, was it tailgating me, I might tap the brake and scare you a little bit, because why are you that close? If we're both, you know what I mean? Like, there's no reason to be trying to triple the speed limit and we're on a nice flow. So I feel like it's just a little, but I am in Indiana, Indy 500, NASCAR, all that stuff. Excuse me. So I think that everyone's just on a different level, but yeah, yeah,
I don't know why. I don't know why in the car is so. I guess because, in my experience, hesitant causes accidents. Indecision causes collision.
If this is the first episode that you've joined us, please go back and review Convo number, that would be 7. Number 7, and you would have a reference. So there was a purpose behind her saying, because she's a dodo. Let me see what else. Okay, we gotta flip it real quick. All right. Oh, big night, Golden Globes.
The Hollywood Minute with Dawn. Yes. What's going on in Hollywood?
So in Hollywood,
what they saying in Hollywood? What they saying but ain't saying in Hollywood?
I ain't saying, but Hollywood is saying.
There you go.
They of course, Golden Globes happened, big award show. It had some, what we would call not record breaking. Well, yeah, record breaking or first time award wins and stuff. So one of my favorite actresses, Angela Bassett. I feel like she's phenomenal. I feel like she's a very strong lead in some movies and things like that. She got her first Golden Globe win. Or wait, is it Golden Globe the same as Emmys?
No.
Maybe it was the Emmys that she got then. Hold on. Well, they put them all at the same time. Hold on.
So Golden Globes are television and movies. Emmys are just television. Oscars are just movies. Grammys are music.
Hold on. So Angela Bassett. Anyway, whichever one she got, it was her first.
Just recently?
Yes.
That night, just the night, just now.
And I think it was the Golden Globe.
It might have been. She's on that she was in The Color Purple, wasn't she? Was she in The Color Purple? But she has that show. This is the Hollywood Unminute, the Un-Hollywood Minute.
Right. The Hollywood, we're not sure what they're saying.
Minute. But she also plays on that 911 show, right? That she has.
Yes.
So maybe she won it for that?
Maybe. Possibly. I know she was the highest paid actress from that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But so she won. There was the now I'm not too familiar with this other lady. I think her name was Lily something. She was the first indigenous actress or actress.
What did she play in? Dot.
Yeah.
Did you watch the Golden Globes? Did you even watch the Golden Globes?
No. But...
Why are you talking about the Golden
Because listen, I had seen some highlights. I feel like maybe I've seen more than other people. Some people don't watch the award shows anymore.
Right.
So
okay.
What's she playing? Huh?
What's her last name, Dawn?
It's Doodoo, baby. Beth, I'm in here with tears in my eyes. I really don't know. I should have been more prepared.
It's Doodoo, baby. Oh man.
Listen, I don't even know why I brought up the Golden Globes knowing I wasn't prepared.
You're so dumb.
Hold on. Let me think. But now the Golden Globe. The Golden Globes. That was the one where the host, it was that Joe Coy. Coy Joe? Coy Joe? Help me, Beth.
Joe Coy.
That's what I said.
Okay.
I said that, didn't I?
Did you say? You said Joy Co.
Oh, my bad. Joe Coy.
Yeah.
So, he made a comment about
Taranja.
He made a comment about your friend, your bestie.
Mm-hmm.
That didn't go over too well. There was a lot of coverage about that.
I saw that. Like, I literally saw him. Like, I watched him, heard him.
Okay. So you can fill it in.
Well, I watched just the beginning of them, and then that was it. So I did get to see his opening monologue, and so I saw the reference that he made to her, and if looks could kill, when he made that reference, he would have been laying flat on that stage. But once again, it wasn't a bad joke to me. It was topical. It's what everybody has basically been saying. So
right.
It's not like, and that's what the hosts and the comedians do. Sometimes they go in, and sometimes the comedians go in a little bit harder. To me, that was relatively
light.
Yeah. And just in case people don't know what we're talking about, he made a reference to Taylor Swift and her, being seen everywhere now at whenever there's Kansas City Chiefs games, they're always cutting away to her, to her picture. And he made the references that they followed a doubleheader, that the Golden Globes came on after, I want to say like 2 football games back to back. And he said, but the difference between the Golden Globes and the NFL games was that they have more shots of Taylor Swift than the Golden Globes do. And she happened to be in the audience, and they showed her face when they did that, and she didn't like that. And so, but it was a topical, funny thing. But now, who everybody who's hating, like, they're hating on it, but really, like, the Swifties, they're so, like I said, once again, her fans are ride or die for her.
Right.
It wasn't a bad joke. It wasn't untrue. You know what I mean? It was a very light jab, which is what they do. But they were coming for this man now, like, to the point of where people are threatening his families, and you know what I mean. It just always goes one step too far, because they thought that joke was. If she would have kind of just laughed it off,
it wouldn't have been no thing. But
I seen the clip they would have laughed it off too, and they would have been like, haha, if she would have took it tongue in cheek, you know what I mean? But that was really the only thing he said. And I think about some of these comedians in the past. Ricky Gervais, that comedian. He can be really funny, but he goes hard on people when he's roasting them. He's roasting them.
And they showed the clip of when he hosted one, and how he like you said, he was brutal. He was like, don't come up here, just accept your award and shut up and sit, like, you know what I mean? And like, to the different actors and stuff,
and he's very dry and very, like, like, he can be funny, but I mean, he goes hard. So I thought this was like, he was relatively, calm with her. It was very mild with her, but just because she just holds so much influence over her fans and over other people, because they can't objectively look at that or listen to that joke and be like, okay, that was funny. She was upset, but they all are like, that wasn't funny. I didn't like that. They get so upset.
Yeah. Well, listen, because the clip that they showed, and she's glaring at him while she's,
and that's exactly what she did while she's. Yep. Yeah. That was exactly what she did. And her friend that was next to her kind of like laughed, like, smiled and chuckled at it, but she did not. So, and even if she did that and she was like playing and she did that, and then afterwards she was like, oh no, I'm just joking, but she didn't. She kept that going, and so I was just like, okay.
And then it turned into a thing. Hey, so it sounds like you're off the hook.
Yeah.
So someone took your spot. So you're good, buddy. Plus, you had already apologized, so that was a thing of the past. I was trying to think of what else was going on now, since I fumbled the Golden Globes coverage. I don't know what there was something else, and now I really can't think of it. So we'll have to save it for
next time.
for next time.
You know what though? I'm gonna tell you something. After I like now once again I'm having remorse for all of the like word vomit that I did that I've got the chills.
Why?
It's I don't know. It's like I had so much like I don't know built up inside. And I let it all out, and it's almost like when you like.
But that's what you said you was gonna do. Have fun. That's
I know,
right.
but and so I did it. So like it's all like I came down. Like my body temperature must have like dropped too, because now I'm like cold. I got all out.
You were so enraged and
I
blood
wasn't
boiling.
enraged. I don't think that's the right word. You like to use rage in my name a lot.
Oh.
You used road rage last week. You used enrage this week. I don't have rage. It was just
Beth. Of the things you said and how you were describing and the passion
rage.
behind it, you don't think that was...
There you go. Passion. Not rage.
No. That's what you were, how expressive you were, but it was from rage. You were...
It was frustration.
Frustration. Frustration. But okay, if you
But you know what? If you can't release and rant amongst friends so that you don't go off on the person driving next to you, then what's the point of having friends, right? You should be able to, like, that's what I should be able to say it to you,
right?
all,
You're
and
right.
get it all out and be done.
Hey,
what?
This is a safe space.
A safe space.
This is a safe
that I
space.
can be all done, you know,
with your rage. I got you.
With my feelings.
Frustration. New word coin.
Frustration. Frustration.
Frustration. That's the new word. That's the money maker right there. Like I said, we're gonna have to start getting merch out too. Someone has suggested that, and I was like, you know what? We might have
that'll be the new word. That'll be word of the year. You know how like Oxford Dictionary starts adding all these words like Riz and
let this be marked. We said it first on here, so if you start hearing people talking about something, I was so frustrated. We started it. It's doodoo, baby.
Oh Lord. Where is that from?
I don't know. It is from a movie or something. It really is. I know
I've heard it so many times, but now, man,
I think it might be Dave Chappelle, one of his skits or something.
That sounds about right.
It sounds about right. I think it is Dave Chappelle. It's doodoo, baby.
Oh Lord.
To be young at heart. We're still young at heart. All right, buddy. Man. So don't forget, and I let you off the hook this time, but next time you give me homework assignments and such, you gotta watch Fifth Element. That was about it.
Was that a homework assignment?
I told you to watch it. Oh, and no, Heifer. Oh, see, you should be glad we out of time.
What's that?
iRobot. Have you watched that? Because that's from a while back. That I told you to watch that. Nope. From the silence.
We can talk about it.
No, did you watch it?
We can talk about it. I mean, why would I say we could talk about it if I wasn't ready to talk about it?
Because we out of time and we got to go. Mm-hmm. Exactly. Don't try to be one up on me. I've known you too long, Heifer. Anyway, to our friends.
Okay, we can talk about it. I mean, next for sure. Yes, homework. I'd do it. Yes.
Shut up. I can't stand you, friends. Thank y'all for tuning in, listening to us. If you've made it all the way to the end, I hope that we had you busting at the seams, because I know I was. Check out the Instagram page. I ain't saying,
but I'm saying.
And we'll post there, have a place for us to interact. We're gonna put up Beth's suggestion box on how to calm her rage of frustration and take a poll on what can she do to calm that rage.
To like and subscribe Well, you can't really subscribe on Instagram,
I
but
think you
like the
can.
page. Can you subscribe?
I think
And
so. We need to really start looking into this kind of stuff.
like and share the page if you don't mind. And if you like the episode, you can like and subscribe, or you can just subscribe at least on Spotify or Apple Music or any place that you find your podcasts.
There you go. We're becoming more official, y'all. 2024. We bringing it. We're trying. All right.
If you want us to. Anyway.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of I Ain't Saying.
But I'm saying it's been fun.
As always.
Next time.
Yes.
All right.
We out.
Bye.